What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for yet another Tottenham update and a few interesting stuff to get into today. First bit is on Antonio Conte and Daniel Levy once again. And I'm actually starting to get a bit frustrated with all this, to be honest, because like every time we lose, it's just like, oh, Conte's leaving, we can't match his ambitions, all this kind of stuff. And then we win, this kind of stuff comes out, and it's just like... It's just, I don't know what to say, but it's just annoying. It's just annoying by the media. But anyway, let's see what they're saying. And The Athletic said that Daniel Levy wants to keep Antonio Conte at Tottenham, and the whole club right now is gearing up for one more big push back towards the elite. It goes on to say, The Athletic, that there is talk within the club that Tottenham will move away from their previous policy of signing young players and instead spending every available pound this summer on players who are immediately ready for the first team. Ali Gold says that Tottenham want Conte to stay and build a new era at the club, but whether he has the patience for that will be revealed next month. And Fabrizio Romano, he was talking a few days ago, and he says Antonio Conte wants many, many things before deciding to stay at Tottenham past this summer, including new signings and contracts for important players. Antonio Conte considers fourth spot as being like a title for Tottenham. And then he goes on to say today, Fabrizio Romano, that Antonio Conte does want to lead a big revolution at Tottenham this summer. So I guess all the good things coming out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, look, nothing really revolutionary at Tottenham. Conte still wants to wait until he's had a conversation with the board this summer and wait until he knows his demands are going to be met, until we know he's going to stay. So still very much, for me, uncertain. As much as it's definitely leaning towards him staying, I still think that. I've always felt that. I still think it's more likely he'll stay than not. But again, it depends how things end at the end of the season. It all depends if we have the Champions League money to spend and give Conte what he wants. I think that could be a very, very big factor. Or if we don't have Champions League money, that he's still going to have that money to spend even if we don't make Champions League. And it makes it less likely if we're not in their Champions League. So it's, for me, still a bit uncertain. We have to hope that we have the end of the season that we're all hoping for and we all want, and then everything might be all right come the end of the season. But I'm glad that we're looking more long term in terms of Conte himself, and he is as well. Even though maybe the signings suggest that we're looking for players that improve the team right now, I'm happy that we're talking about Conte developing a new era and that kind of stuff. That's that's positive for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that what the Athletic are saying, that we're gearing up. Well, not gearing up, but we're looking to buy ready-made players now instead of like players with potential. That's definitely a sign or a signal of intent, anyway, for the club to keep Conte.
But it doesn't mean we should be signing 30-year-olds. You know what I mean?
No, of course not.
Like,
no, but
Bentancur, Kulusevski, they're
yeah,
also
in that ilk, you know, players that have longevity but are also ready for the first team. That's what we need.
They're always the most expensive.
We want. Yeah, I know they are, but you know, we've got players like Kulusevski, Bentancur, and Romero, who, you know, we didn't pay completely over the odds for them, did we? We got them at good prices for the quality of players that they are, and we need to keep going in that ilk.
Basically, we need to get them instead of players like Gil, who still need a lot of time to develop and are not ready for the first team. And it doesn't help us right now getting players like him.
And I kind of agree with you in terms of, you know, Champions League will be very important in terms of how much money we're going to spend this summer, but I don't think it's going to be a defining feature in terms of our transfer window.
That's the thing. I'm hoping it won't be, but it could be. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. But that is, I guess, good news for now, as opposed to the news that we were seeing last week about Antonio Conte. But next up, we're going to talk about Sergio Reguilon, as Gabriel Sanz, who's a Barcelona journalist, says that Tottenham man Sergio Reguilon is one of the left-backs Barcelona like and could make a move for him in the summer. I, for one, wouldn't lose any sleep if Barcelona come in for Reguilon this summer. I think he's had enough time in a Spurs shirt now to really knuckle down that left wing-back spot. And I don't think he's done that, unfortunately. I think that since his first 3-4 months at Spurs, where he really came in and did well, I think he's flattered to deceive since then.
I think he could do a good job in a team who dominate possession, him playing a left-back as opposed to having all that attacking responsibility that left wing-back brings. He'll be more suited to playing in that kind of role at Barcelona than he does at Tottenham, in my opinion. Not to say that means he's a bad player. I don't see Madrid letting him go to Barca. I find it hard to believe they would allow their rival to snap him up when they could just re-sign him and sell him back on, which I think is probably a likely scenario.
Yeah, but, they've got a clause for 40 million.
Yeah.
They're not going to get more than 40 million.
How much are we going to sell him for?
I doubt we'll get 40 million from him. How much did we sign him for?
27.
Yeah, I think at the max we 30 million or recoup our money back. I can't see us getting.
I think we can get a
close to
profit.
40.
I think we can get a profit because he's young and he's Spanish international. I think people still remember him from his time in Seville, and I don't think it's been that much of a disaster that his values declined.
I think his values probably stayed about the same.
I think it's probably increased because we're not as desperate to get rid of him as Madrid were. So I think Madrid were more really wanting him out. I don't know if we're in that situation. We might be, but I don't think we are. I reckon we'll probably demand about 35. That's what I would say. And so Madrid is for their clause is for, I don't know if it's 40 million euros or 40 million pounds. Not sure which one it is.
Probably euros, to be honest.
And so then they could do that. They could easily recoup it, just get Barca getting him, and then sell him on somewhere else. We'll see how it plays out in the summer. I don't know if it's likely Barca will get him in the summer. We'll see. I could be wrong.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about Christopher Nkunku now of RB Leipzig, who's had an absolutely stunning season in the Bundesliga this year. Damasio are saying that Nkunku can play in England for any top team, including Spurs. Spurs will look for another striker. I don't know if it will be Lautaro Martinez. It will depend on that, but they only have Harry Kane, so they are looking for another one. So there's no actual concrete links there, just Damasio kind of saying that Nkunku could move to a club of Tottenham's ilk.
I mean, he's really broken out this season into one of the stars of Europe, let alone just a Bundesliga. He's been absolutely exceptional. I think he's got something like over 40 goal contributions this season. It's ridiculous, his form. He has played in the false nine position a lot for Leipzig as well. He can play out. He can play any. I reckon in the way we play the 3-4-3, he can play in any of those three positions easily. Can play behind the striker as well in an attacking midfield position. It's a no-brainer. It's a possibility, but I'm sure his value has skyrocketed since this season he's had because it's been that good. So it'll be a very difficult deal to get done, but I'll definitely take him, that's for sure. Yeah,
I'd absolutely love him at Spurs, but there's going to be a host of clubs after his signature this summer. Transfermarkt are valuing him at 58.5 million.
So you have to add probably an extra 30 on that.
Yeah, and the beginning of the season or December 2021, he was valued at 49.5, so his value is going up. Agent Pini Zahavi, his contract does expire 2024, so he does have a few years left on it. So I can't really see Spurs getting this one done, to be honest.
I see it as being unlikely, but look, if they miss out on top four, we get it, and there aren't as many teams in competition for him. Maybe they're one we could get him over the line.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Never know.
I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. If we do get it over the line, where do you see him fitting in?
Any in the front three position. Any there.
We got Kane, Son and Kulusevski.
Just a squad. Anywhere.
All right, let's hope so. I mean, if we can bring in someone of that quality as a squad player, I mean, that is what you call strength and depth, isn't it? So,
I mean, he comes in as a starter probably on the right, probably, but I do think he's probably a bit better than Kulusevski at the moment. But look, it's like as we keep saying with other players, it's not all about just coming in and being guaranteed. It's about having a good squad, and that's what it's all about.
And if we're looking to get rid of Lucas and Bergwijn this summer, would you take selling those two and only bringing in him?
Probably want another one.
Yeah. Would that be like a Brian Hill coming back or a brand new signing you're talking about?
Probably. I mean, in the perfect world, a new signing. But if
would you be upset if we sold Bergwijn and Lucas this summer and brought back Hill and had Nkunku? Would that be?
I wouldn't be upset.
Would that be?
It'll be an upgrade.
Forward, yeah.
It'll be an upgrade on what we have. Yeah, that'll be an upgrade because Nkunku is that good at the moment. But we're still. You do feel though, a couple of injuries and we're short again. You just get that feeling.
Yeah. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about Conrad Leimer, a kicker. A publication out in Germany is saying that Tottenham are one of the clubs interested in signing Leipzig midfielder Conrad Leimer this summer. I mean, we've spoken about him before. Me personally, I haven't seen him too much. Do you know much about him?
No, I think he's just very similar to like Højbjerg and Bentancur in the way he plays, in playing in central midfield. So maybe he just adds a bit of depth. I think he's been having a good season with Leipzig, but I don't know to what extent. I think he's like a very solid player. He's one of those where he adds depth without losing too much quality, but he's not one where you're like, oh my god, we're getting Leimer, like he's going to really bring the team on. But he definitely keeps the standards of the team fairly similar.
Thing is, with obviously the English quota that we've spoken about before, that Spurs are struggling with, and if we're looking to get Harry Winks out the door, surely you need to bring another English player in there, and this one doesn't really make too much sense.
Well, that's why we're linked with the Ward-Prowse and Phillips. Hopefully we need to get one of those in through the door. Well, not necessarily them, but another English person. I definitely think we need that. We need to aim for one of those in the summer. But I think you can still get him as well.
Well, it just depends. Like, I'm not sure the exact numbers of this of the English quota thing and how much we actually need, but we did hear that Conte says that Spurs are massively struggling with it.
Yeah, we are.
So
because we'll see how it impacts things.
Yeah, but that is that for the Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we brought to you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.